Hello everyone, my name is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about ancestral healing with archangels and the tribal soul Volksgeist. This is a very powerful, interesting subject, and why it's significant is that most of us have been disconnected from our roots, disconnected from where we come from, and that where we come from has immense support and inspiration in ways that we don't even know is possible, because a lot of those things have been shut down or cut, and also there's been a lot of trauma that has happened. So there's a lot of healing that needs to be done, but there's an immense amount of beauty that is behind that, and that's what I really want to talk about today. This information you have probably not heard before. This is a culmination of, I've been doing ancestral work for over a decade, and I've synthesized these pieces, this transmission that I'm going to bring through. There's a lot in this ancestral healing category. I have a whole playlist of many different ways that you can heal yourself, which this is a part of the healing, but this is more a part of the empowerment. I suggest going and watching those other videos. I think it's over here. If you're interested in that healing part, I do have a full course that I've created that I continue to add content to whenever I get these transmissions to bring full healing and support to anyone that needs it in this category, because it's so powerful. In the work, one of the things that happens is after you're done doing a lot of the clearing and the healing, what then can happen and what we're wanting to tap into is what is called the ancestral tribal soul. This is a term used in constellation work and shamanic work. Now, the tribal soul is the healed version of your particular lineage. So you might have like English lineage, and it's the healed version. It's the healed template of the spirit of those peoples without any of the trauma, crap, or baggage. So it's like the pure essence of it. That is what the tribal soul is. And so what we're wanting to do is to connect with the tribal soul, or this pure essence of various lineages, of the lineages that we carry. Now, you know what this energy is. You felt it before, I know. It's that energy of remembrance, of knowing who you are and where you come from. I'm not talking in the stars perspective, but I'm talking about the earth soul perspective. It might come through a song. It might come through seeing a certain movie or seeing a certain place with a certain architecture, something that literally calls to your soul. This might be a past life, but it also could be that that person has actually captured the essence, the pure essence of the tribal soul of that particular lineage. A great example of this is Jonna Jinton. A lot of you probably know her. She's a big YouTuber. She became really big for her kunding. I don't know exactly how to say it, but the Scandinavian call, singing that she does. And why I think that she became so big for that is because there was this primordial and cultural essence, this pure knowing back to where we came from that she brings through. And what she's bringing through is the actual tribal soul of that Scandinavian lineage. Now, we might not have that lineage. I don't personally have that lineage. But when you hear it, you know that it is the complete pure essence. And so what we're wanting to do is to tap into that, particularly with our lineages. And now you can feel that resonance even if you don't maybe have that connection through your ancestry, or maybe not even in another life, because we're all connected as one humanity. And this is the really interesting part that is so profound and beautiful, is that Rudolph Steiner talks about the Volksgeist, which is the spirit of the peoples, if you translate it in German. I'm sorry for these pronunciations. I do have German, but I do not know how to pronounce these things. But the Volksgeist is also the tribal soul. So it could be a different word for the tribal soul. And each tribal soul, each Volksgeist, has an archangel that holds the frequency, that is the guide, that is the guardian essence of that particular lineage. that holds that spirit pure and true. And so this is a very advanced, very high energy. This is a group collective energy. This isn't an individual energy. So it is a very high energy. And so when we can connect in with this frequency of our particular lineages and remember it, it brings through the truth and the essence and the purity of who we are that actually catalyzes absolute support and love and inspiration and all of our gifts so that we can bring them forward into the world. This energy and this support comes through from behind our backs. It's the energy of "I've got your back," which I've said many times before. And this is a very important line of spiritual energy to connect in with, because we might be connecting straight up, right, with like the central column and with the Godhead or with certain spiritual beings. But this is a way to connect back through our lineage and bring that energy forward. Now, I want to share some of the ways that you can connect in with your tribal soul, with this pure spirit of the Volksgeist, of the spirit of your peoples, which is held and connected to an archangel. And so how you can connect in with this stream of consciousness so that then this can bring healing to your lineage. So the way that this energy can be tapped into is, well, there's lots of different shamanic journeying and meditations that can take you to that place. They can bring through certain images and feelings so that you understand that transmission, which is what I do a lot in my ancestral healing course. I have lots of different methods of doing this. One easy way that you can do right now is to connect with any of the artistic expressions of that culture. So each culture has a different kind of music, right? And that's what Jonna Jinton's tapping into, particularly with her singing, but she does it in lots of her other mediums as well. There's, of course, the art, the physical arts, which can go into actual paintings. It can go into the weaving of baskets, the weaving of clothes. It can go into the architecture of the buildings of that space. It can go into the dance. It can go into the different kinds of plays and acting. It's in the language, right? It's in every part of the expression that makes up the spirit of those peoples. So by connecting through the art and the expression, then you can tap into this energy that much more easily, which is really powerful and beautiful. And to connect in even more with this energy of the tribal soul, another good example that you know is Awa, right? The avatar mother tree. And yes, that is connected through the tree, but the tree is symbolic of the lineage and that connection, that root that we have with each other, and that pulse of life, that life-giving energy that we can tap into. And so that's another example of what that can look like. So you can do this and connect in with this energy through the arts. So even if you are in America right now or Australia right now, and you're like, wow, my family is far away from the motherland, you can still connect in with it by listening to the music, or maybe outlining, say, the Celtic cross, or whatever comes to you to connect with that starts to light up your soul and tune you to the vibration of that archangelic energy. So it's very powerful. It's very beautiful. You might not get to this space of very palpable, pulsing, deep connection with the tribal soul in the beginning. It might be a faint whisper, like literally a whisper, like in Frozen 2, like that I'm hearing something. There's this yearning, there's this calling. It can be in these different meditations that you might see people's dancing, or it might be through the food, whatever it is. So you might start getting just like little whispers of spirit, or certain colors, or a certain vibrational essence. And that is the place to begin. And that's what I started with. I've said in one of my other videos that when I was exploring the tribal souls of all of my different lineages, what came through when I connected with my Irish lineage, which was one of the most powerful experiences I ever had, gonna do my best not to cry, is feeling the spirit of the rainbow. Truly, like the crystalline spirit of the rainbow, and the sensitivity of emotion that is one of the key pieces of the tribal soul, for instance. of Ireland. So it might be very faint, it's very subtle, and subtlety is a sign of a very kind of high and actually advanced vibration, because it in time will build, will grow. And this is the thing too, right now we're individuals, and there are really key prerequisites that you need to do as an individual to clear yourself out and to also clear your line, which I talk about in my other videos, the 7 generations back, and to clear out all of this so that you have the spaciousness for this energy to actually flow. And because I've been doing this work for so long and in such kind of a reverent and dedicated manner, the energy is getting really, really strong for me. And you can watch another video that I did talking about how this energy pulsed through from my lineage on the summer solstice last year when I was at the Bosnian pyramids. And again, this is more like where it's going. But I want to paint that picture because then you know what to look forward to. You have the carrot, you have the guiding light and the guiding star to go towards. And the reason I'm giving this transmission is so that there's a guiding path for you to follow. Whereas for me, I've been kind of searching in the dark and experimenting and going through different ways that other people are doing and just culminating all that information over time. And now it's all making sense. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do this for years and years. You can get to it much more quickly. So it might start a little bit more subtle, and then it'll end up being more experiential and pulls through your whole body. And as you do this too, like where I'm at right now, which I know is one of the things that I'm meant to do, is you start then connecting with all of the Volksgeist, all of the tribal souls of the whole earth. And once you feel and you've connected with all of those, then you're at this place that goes back to the one humanity. And that is extremely powerful because that is the experiential understanding that we are all one and that there is no separation of any cultures, of any people. And we start on the path just with a slice of ourselves, a slice of our own lineage through our mother, through our father. And then we move to the spirit of the peoples, the tribal soul, and the archangel energy around that. And then we expand to connect with all of the other tribal souls, to connect with all of the other archangels, till we get to this place of oneness, until we get to this place of one humanity, which is what is needed on our planet right now, so that there is no more separation and we can work as one. So this is where this energy is going, and that's why it's significant for you to do your individual piece, so then we can ignite the fire within the collective consciousness and within every lineage around the planet. Another piece that I want to bring through is that this is the same thing when you're talking about connecting with fairies, elementals, archangelic Volksgeists of different cultures, is that you are being read, the imprints in your etheric body of who you are, of how you engage with the world, with your own energy, and with the other elements that you come in contact with. And when they read you, these spiritual beings, elementals, whatever it is, they read you as having reverence. Then they open to you. They don't care about your race or maybe that you come from another one. All that is desired is that you are acknowledging and that you have reverence and honor for whatever that being is. And that is one of the best ways to connect and to gain entry and access to very powerful spiritual gateways. And so one of the last things that I wanted to close with was that you can also connect with the tribal soul or this cultural spirit through crystals, because each land space normally has a peoples on it, and there's an interaction that the land influences the people and the people influence the land. And so there's a communication that happens. And in some places, maybe there aren't a lot of humans, and so there isn't as much of a cultural imprint held within the crystal, but obviously there would be an elemental energy and a land energy you can connect in with. So I learned this from a very powerful crystal that I received at the Tucson Gem Show, and I've been working with it, and right now it still is in process, so I'm not going to reveal the exact examples, even though that would be really fun. But you can connect with certain crystals from certain places to connect in with the tribal soul energy, and even connect in, because in my crystal video I share that the crystals are the sense spiritual organ of the angels and of higher spiritual beings. And so you can also use the crystals as a communication device to tap into and to learn more about a given people's, a given culture. And so that is another really fun and beautiful way that you can connect into your own personal lineages or certain cultures that you're wanting to connect in with in a very deep and spiritual way. I hope that this has been helpful and informative for you and inspiring for you to connect in with this deeper and yet very high aspect of these cultural collective consciousnesses that are incredibly powerful and supportive once we clear the way and tap into it. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or if you've had any experiences below, I would love to hear that. Please share. I do have my Ancestral Healing and Empowerment course if you're interested in that, so the link is down below. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button so you get notifications every time I do new videos. And thank you so much for listening, for being here, for syncing with this information and continuing to do your part because it's essential. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time.